How about an all-star weekend for the English Premier League? Have a winter break and get the best players from the south of England to play the best players from the north of England, or something like that. What a great idea. It's an idea that they've got in North America they've been using for a long time in baseball, in NFL, and of course in basketball. And this weekend, it is the NBA All-Star, pitting the best from the Eastern Conference against the best from the Western Conference. But what's it all about? I caught up with sports business analyst Rick Horrow a little earlier and said, why is it that North America likes to have its All-Star weekends?
To make money, to make people feel good about the NBA, to raise the value of the event, to engage in fan experience, to make sure sports is very important in society. I guess similar to your Premiership championship, maybe. I mean, who knows? The Olympics is the same kind of feel on a larger scale. We had some political issues. I'm here in New Orleans. It was supposed to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. There were a lot of political issues about the bathroom ban, transgender issues, and the NBA played a game of chicken. They said, we're an industry. If you don't change the law, we're going to move. So New Orleans got this game 5 months ago, notwithstanding the normal planning cycle is about 2 or 3 years. But New Orleans had it 2 years ago. They certainly know how to hold a party, and this is it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because the NBA took a very political stance, moving it from Charlotte to New Orleans. And we'd speak to you now, and there is another political backdrop to you, if you like. It's not just the palm tree, but of course Trump, President Trump, and a lot of the NBA players who will be at NBA All-Star talking about him, not in glowing terms. It's strange to see so many sports stars being so outwardly political.
Well, how about the rest of the world being outwardly political and doing normal business by the first conversation ever talking about Trump in the United States? That's another day for another time. We don't have enough time unless you'll give me a couple of hours. But as it relates to the sports piece of this, there are a lot of opinionated athletes who are role models. Most athletes believe they're role models in some context. Some choose to speak up by giving to social causes. Some choose to speak up by talking about or against certain politicians. And when they combine, it is a very loud, noisy voice. Not a bad voice, but a loud, noisy voice. We've had American athletes not go to the White House for years. I would say it hasn't been as political as an issue as it is right now.
There will be many purists that don't like it, of course. There'll be others as well that will be saying, why is it taking the NBA so long to delve into this rich stream of revenue? Talking of which, we always hear how the NBA is expanding around the world. More announcements this weekend about how they plan to expand in Africa. Untapped talent, lots of money there potentially as well. And talk of another game in Africa very soon.
Well, listen, the NBA is doing a better job at globalization than a lot of other sports. NFL does some, talk about it. Baseball, obviously the World Baseball Classic here in America. Hockey, Eastern European, as we know. The NBA, games in China, thinking about Africa, games in Australia. It's been an Olympic sport for years, will continue to be. The Americans do pretty well on the Olympic level. And what does it mean, guys? It's money. What else does it mean? Money, more money, exposure, international corporate deals, international players. So the NBA is doing it right. Will they expand across the pond? That's another question for another day, but they're certainly making the first move to generate awareness.
Looks good there, doesn't it, in New Orleans? Okay.